perfectionism. And I think people listening to this, as I work with people, I find that they are so analytical and so striving to be perfect that they beat themselves up because they're not perfect enough. And this is what you said in the book, and then I'd love to have your thought on it. You said, and it has to do with what stories you're telling yourself. You said there are disturbingly similar stories of talented and dedicated people ruining their careers because they cannot accept the simple truth that they will never be perfect. And then you go on to say, research shows that the highest achievers in any field are those with only moderate levels of perfectionism.
I think the research confirms what I've seen just in a clinical, in my clinical work. People who are very, very, very perfectionistic are so good at focusing almost exclusively on their setbacks, mistakes, and imperfections that they build a level of physical tension, a level of emotional worry, which in turn inhibits their next performance. It's a form of sabotage, if you will.
Yeah.
Perfection is a wonderful thing to strive toward. We should all attempt to be absolutely freaking perfect every time we practice and every time we play. However, striving for perfection is one thing, and that's fine, but demanding perfection from yourself each and every time is a killer. When I say don't demand it, I simply mean if you don't achieve it, acknowledge that, forgive yourself for being an imperfect human, and get back to work and see what you can learn from your imperfection. See if you can be curious about it to the point where you can learn what it's teaching you, and that'll help you get closer and closer and closer.
Wow, I love that. Strive for perfectionism. It's a great thing, but none of us are going to be perfect. So don't demand it.
Right. Oh. Don't demand it when you don't achieve it. Okay.
Yes.
This is a tough thing for a lot of people to put into regular practice because we have a fairly results-oriented, perfectionistic, striving culture here in America, North America, most of the industrialized world. And we haven't given the same degree of respect and appreciation for a little compassion and how far that can go in keeping you energized.
I love that. A little bit of compassion, a little bit of empathy. If I locked on to the failures I've had over the past 25 years of building, especially in the beginning years of building my business and trying to write a book and losing in the early days or 20 years ago, having my car repossessed and trying to build my business, and it was all going backwards. Had I stayed locked on to all the failures, the missteps, the mistakes, and so forth, there's no way I'd be where I am today had I given in to those beliefs. But I kept believing that something was possible if I was willing to be persistent, if I was willing to keep working at it.